friend Ryan Loiselle. He's a licensed independent clinical social worker, and he is the program director of Friends Way. He joins us in here. How are you, Ryan?
Very good. Thank you for having us back.
Of course. We're always so glad to have you here. Friends Way is hosting their third annual Funny for Friends fundraiser. That's a mouthful. Coming up on February 15th. So we're excited to talk about the fundraiser coming up in just a little bit. It's always a good time and always appreciate the community support. So of course we're going to chat about that in a little bit. But we wanted to talk a little bit about self-care. It's something that's so important when people are suffering a loss or grieving, and especially in the winter time, it can get pretty tough. So Ryan's going to help us talk a little bit just about the importance of self-care.
Sure. So as a social worker, self-care is almost our motto. And people think when you say self-care, you've got to have a really big checkbook. You've got to have a big bank account. You don't. There are certainly little things you can do each day. The sun was shining today for a little bit. I threw myself in a window to take more of the sunshine in. It's about making, the little things feel a little bit better for yourself. Obviously, while you're grieving, we're working with many families who are encountering the loss of someone close and significant. Taking time for yourself, just not overextending yourself, not overscheduling. We just got through the hustle and bustle of the holidays, many holiday parties and school vacations. It's harder to think of caring for yourself now when it's cold out and it's dark early, but finding a good book to read, doing little things, but also knowing your limits.
I think that's so crucial, and whether you're experiencing a loss or not, self-care is so crucial every single day, making sure you take some time for yourself, but especially if you are experiencing a loss, I think self-care is even more important. So, go ahead.
You say, of course, and reaching out for help, there's usually a lot of people after the death that will say, hey, if you need something, let me know. Take advantage of that. Call them up and say, you know how you offered a couple months ago? I'm dying to get my mani-pedi done. I need my hair done. I want to go out with the guys. I want to do something. Take advantage of those people just to say, this would really help me a lot right now. Help pick up dry cleaning, all things like that.
And I think it's important to, it doesn't matter the amount of time that's passed. You can be grieving at any time. I was just remembering a friend who passed in college last night, and I was just thinking about him, and I spent some time just remembering him. And I mean, it's been a long time, so it doesn't matter, I don't think, the amount of time that's passed. You can always still take a little time for yourself and to grieve.
Of course, and similar to that, you're going to have different triggers at different times, and it can set you back that many years all of a sudden.
Yeah.
To say, how did I get transported back to college?
Yeah.
But you could have heard a song, you could have been unpacking something, you could have found a yearbook, you could have found something.
Exactly. Okay, so Ryan has put together some, I don't want to say tips, maybe some strategies that we're going to go over to help you with self-care while you are grieving or if you've gone through a loss. So, and I think these are all just valuable strategies to go through with self-care. So the first one that we'll talk about today is listening to your body.
Right, so I get massages monthly
That's
because I'm listening to my body. So knowing when you're tired, knowing when you need to take a break, knowing that last Saturday went for a walk, it was beautiful out. It was sunshine, so figuring out what your body needs if you're hungry, if satisfying those immediate things, if you're stressed or tight, or take a hot shower. Like if you don't take care of your body, your vessel, you're not going to be good for anybody else.
And that's crucial. Okay, give yourself permission.
So can mean a lot of things to a lot of people, but giving yourself permission to know that you don't have to do everything. That your to-do list, I know you said you like to make lists.
Yes, I do.
It can carry over to say, you know what, I have 2 big things I need to get done today. If I got half of one, that's okay. Just don't feel like you're setting yourself up for failure, because then you're probably become even more depressed to say, oh, now I can't do anything right. And you're not going to be functioning at the same level as you were before the death. You could probably plow through 3 hours of emails and now maybe you can do 10 minutes. So just giving yourself permission to know you don't have to accomplish everything so soon.
I think this next one is really valuable. If you need counseling, get it.
Right, so as many people know, if you've been watching a lot, Friends Way is not a counseling agency, it's a peer-based support group. We have many people who immediately after the death are calling us, and I direct them into a position to get them counseling services. Not everybody needs a counselor, but if you're feeling like your tribe at this point of your people in your support group, in your just day-to-day stuff, aren't understanding you, you're checking in with your doctor, you're losing weight or gaining weight, or your sleep is off, you don't have the drive and ability to want to do the things you used to do, and if you just need to talk to somebody about those things, then I would say certainly reach out to a counseling agency, certainly call us, anybody within the field, and it might work for you, it may not, but you just might, don't be afraid, and try out many. You may not hit it off with your first therapist. That's totally okay. We understand and expect that you're gonna do this trial period too.
And I think what you said makes so much sense, that that it's not necessarily the right fit for everyone, but if you think that's a good option for you, why not try it?
Right. We do groups at Friends Way. Groups are not always the best thing and best fit for everybody either. They'll call up and say, oh, you do groups, I only want individual, and I'd be happy to refer them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, another great point is that I think it's important for self-care is to find people that might be going through the same thing, or to find, like you said, your tribe. Can you talk about just finding support, whether it's from people who are going through something like you, or for finding community support?
Sure. So, even if you don't have children between the ages of 3 and 18 to become part of our program, there's many hospices, there's Compassionate Friends, there's folks, again, while you're grieving, to get connected. Some are drop-ins, some are you need to commit to regular attendance. So, just do a Google search, try to find something. Once you're with your tribe, and sometimes we use that word a lot, it feels better. You're with people that get it. So you don't have to fully tell them your whole life story. You can say, my child died. I'm already going to be like, I can understand what you're saying if I've experienced that. So find the people that bring out the good in you. And I think, sometimes people clean up their Facebook list to figure out, what, this person is negative. Like, keep the negativity out. And especially when you're having a really hard time, you don't really want to focus on that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Very true. Okay, this one might seem simple to read aloud on paper, but not always easy to do no matter what you're going through. But just the aspect of eating well and getting that exercise.
Right, again, way easier said than done. Preparing meals and planning in advance can be hard. But I've had a day where I haven't even really been in my own office yet. But I've had snacks throughout the day, I'm staying hydrated, I'm walking a bit further, so if I'll park further away so I can get a little bit more exercise, because today's not a day I can get to the gym. But it's really trying to do, meal prep or just thought-provoking things to say, you know what, I'm gonna be running all day, but here's nuts, here's a granola bar, here's fresh fruit. And again, easier said than done as you're passing a zillion McDonald's and Dunkin' Donuts and everything, but just trying to plan what's gonna happen for your day so you can kind of anticipate. And getting a little bit of exercise doesn't mean you've got to do like CrossFit for 3 hours. It's taking a walk maybe during your lunch break if you can with a colleague.
I think that's a great idea too, is maybe having that support along with you, is taking a walk, whether it's a 5-minute walk around the block, or maybe having someone with you, like have a sister, a brother, or a cousin come over and cook a healthy meal with you, because if you are feeling very down, you don't always feel like eating, right? Your appetite's not there.
Right, and cooking is therapeutic. It's an art, and it can be fun. Bring somebody over, involve your kids in cooking.
That's a great idea. Right. Okay, this I think is probably important, because people, if you're going through something difficult, not everyone knows how to respond. Responding is very difficult. Not not people don't always know how to react to death. No, people don't know how to respond. It's a very difficult topic. So one thing that you said is to let people know what you need from them.
Right. I could write a book. All of our families could write a book on this. But it's about what is helpful. And if you were to say something unhelpful to me, I could do a couple things. I could lash out at you, Molly, or I then start avoiding you. Because if you're bringing me down, I'm going to be like, I don't want her to say, well, you still have other kids. Why are you worried about the child who died?
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh.
It's filtering those types of things, but it's figuring out what you do need. And if you don't need to add a third event onto, your night after work, then don't. If people don't understand, that's not their problem. It's, you can't let others view you about, oh, well, they're not coming to all these events, or they're not doing all these things that they used to do. It could be grief. It could just be, I don't feel like it. I'm not up for it. And again, paying attention to your body to know what you have to do. Because otherwise, you could show up to everything, but really be empty inside, and you're not totally present, and that's not good for you either.
And it's so important to be self-aware and take care of yourself.
Of course.
When you're going through this. Okay, let's do maybe one or two more, and then we'll talk about the fundraiser, which sounds so great. Right, which we're going to talk about here in a minute after we're done talking to you. But just writing, I think writing is so therapeutic.
It is. We have our kids that will journal. If you call it a diary, kids are not
They're not into that.
it. But it could be a journal. It could be poetry. We sometimes start our groups to say, tell us what happened today. And it doesn't have to be this beautifully written rhyming or non-rhyming or everything in prose. And it can just be, get things out of your head. It could be write about what you're looking to get rid of today for your negative energy. Or you could be looking at a sign and say, wow, that color really is inspiring me. Just write or read or do something, with some language.
I think that's great. Okay, I think that's a good one. I feel like writing is so beneficial for so many reasons, whether you're going through something or just getting stuff out of your head, whether it makes sense or not. If you're just doing it, I think that's always beneficial. All right, let's talk a little bit about the fundraiser. Friends Way is hosting their third annual Funny for Funds fundraiser. It's in Cranston this year. Talk to us a little bit about the event. Tickets are on sale now, and we'll put a link to the fundraiser page and how you can get tickets. But just talk to us a little bit about the event and what people can expect.
Sure. So again, certainly in line with self-care. Who doesn't want to go out and laugh?
Exactly.
Winter months, it's in February, 2 weeks from tonight. It'll give you an opportunity to connect with, buy a table, go with your friends, some colleagues, family members. It's a bring your own snacks event.
I think that's so fun. That's great.
So again, it's a fundraiser. We don't want to have to put out more money on, a buffet and everything. But this way, again, find foods that remind you maybe of the person who died, maybe of, just your time together. It's easy to bring hummus and celery and, pizza and wings and salad and everything. So doors are at 6, show starts at 7. We've got a few comedians that are coming on. Our headliner, which is actually pretty cool, so Stephen Donovan, who's with Light Rock 105, is also one of our volunteers.
Awesome.
He has us in stitches nearly every night we see him anyway, unprompted, so we're excited to have him. And we're also honoring our Volunteer of the Year award. We have 65 volunteers. Everyone certainly is the Volunteer of the Year award, but we're honoring Richard just because he's been with us 13 years as a volunteer, was a previous Friends Way family. So it's just an opportunity for us to get together, kind of no frills. It's, it's at the Cranston Portuguese Club. We got a big venue. We would love to pack it. We can sit between 400 and 500 people, which is a lot bigger so we outgrew our previous venues. And, cash bar, we got a 50-50 raffle. We have pink tickets that Stephen was able to get for us, so we're gonna do raffle those. Wine grabs, gift cards. So just be a great event to kind of kick back on a Thursday night and, have a few laughs and help Friendsway with some donations.
I think these events are always great. Like, you get to go in, you get to be with your friends. So tickets are $25 on your own, and then it's $200 for a table of 8. So
Yes.
just get like a bunch of friends. You can go in, you go get a bunch of snacks, order pizza, whatever, head on in, and then you're just gonna hang out and have a good time, right?
Right, and it's easy, it's pretty effortless, and you'll probably feel a lot better walking out than you did out walking in. Maybe a little bit lighter, and hopefully your wallet's a little bit lighter as well. As you're
Exactly.
leaving.
Everything's gonna be lighter,
Right.
except for maybe you if you ate all those pizza
Right.
and snacks that you brought
Right.
in.
So you can walk home.
So you can walk home. It's that whole idea of self-care.
Right.
Okay, so it's at the Portuguese Club in Cranston. Like you said, you have gift cards. You're looking, and like I said, I have the link right here, so I'll make sure that that's linked on there. And just talk to us a little bit about what the money goes toward, because the whole idea that it's a fundraiser. Obviously, if people want to go, people want to laugh, but talk to us just a little bit about what the money goes to, because Friendsway is such an important and invaluable resource within our community.
Sure. So all of our services are free to our families. So that includes, our pizza and arts and craft supplies, mortgage, keeping the lights on, all that kind of stuff, paper products, crayons, all things that I kind of take for granted that I have in the building because we've bought those things to keep things going. Again, it's not through insurance, so we rely solely on grants, fundraisers, and donations to provide all these services, serving over 100 families currently, and we probably serve about 130 annually.
Wow.
And every penny that comes into the building goes back into the program. So I have a goal of I want to net at least 10, because we've been at like 8,300 the past couple of years. I think we can do it. So we're looking for sponsors. $100 will give you basically advertising to everybody who's there on our table tents and signage at the top, behind the stage, and we're just looking for again, wine for grab bags, and if you have gift cards. Maybe there's a Dunkin' Donuts that you don't frequent. Maybe you're not a tea or coffee drinker. You can give that gift card to me and we'll throw it in a wine grab, and then that'll be an opportunity for other people to kind of thin out their, holiday gift cards that they're not going to use.
Perfect. Okay, so you heard him. Contact Ryan if you have maybe a little donation to donate, as well as money.
Right,
because we want to
absolutely.
we want to get it to 10 grand. We want at least.
Or more.
At least that. All right, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure. Please, everyone, hang tight as we get ready for our next guest here on Golocal Live.